I don't know when bean salads became cool again, but I'm here for it. These are affectionately known as dense bean salads, or DBS. They're super popular all over social media. They've been filling my feed. They sound delicious, so grab a can of beans. Let's start cooking. The first salad I'm making is a steak chimichurri dense bean salad. This recipe comes from Violet Cooks, who I think is the one that made dense bean salads such a trend right now. She's got tons of great creations. This first one is hers, steak chimichurri, with a couple of my own little twists. You want to choose a couple different beans per salad so they have different textures. The beans I'm using for this are pinto beans and garbanzo beans. The pinto beans are going to be soft and creamy, and the garbanzo beans are going to have a little more bite and texture. You just want to drain and rinse whatever beans you're using. For steak chimichurri, I've gone ahead and marinated a flank steak. This is just a very simple, flavorful marinade. This has been soaking overnight, so I'm gonna get that in a hot skillet. While the steak cooks, I'm going to make all the other components for the salad. When you think of a chimichurri, you think of a pureed sauce that mainly parsley, some cilantro sometimes. Cilantro is not always in it, but it's always in mine. Instead of pureeing that, that's gonna be the base of our salad. So we're just gonna chop everything up. Start adding everything to the bowl. Roasted red peppers. You just want to pack it with different textures, flavors, obviously, and colors. I'm going to add in some red onion. I love the bite of a red onion. What else do I want to put? I'm going to add in some cheese. I'm using this ranchero queso fresco. It's going to have kind of like a little sharp, crumbly bite to it. Those are my main components to the salad, so we'll add the steak in, and then for the dressing that binds it all together, it's the other components of a chimichurri. You've got a little red wine vinegar, a little lemon, some fresh garlic goes in, a little crushed red pepper. Oregano is very common in chimichurri. A little salt. Then I'm gonna whisk that together with some extra virgin olive oil. Give it a taste. That's quite delightful. All right, we will rest the steak. Gonna let that rest for about 5 minutes before we slice it up and add it to the salad. I'm gonna slice it and then kind of dice it so you get like kind of bite-sized pieces that go along with everything else that's in the salad. This is a salad that will satisfy even your hungriest eaters. I'm okay if some of the pan juices go in there, and then we pour the dressing over as well. You know that's gonna be good. Definitely want to see a lot of green to remind you that this is chimichurri. I didn't even have to like reach for it. The beans absorb that dressing a little bit, so it's like little pockets of little flavor bombs in there amidst all the fresh veggies, the crunch, the savory meat. That's good. The next recipe is my creation. I'm calling Supreme Pizza DBS. Think of all the flavors that we love in a fully loaded pizza in a bowl of bean salad. For the beans, I'm going to do cannellini beans and garbanzo beans. This recipe requires no cooking. This is a salad that I would put in my daughter's lunches. They would totally like snack on this throughout the week, or they would take this in their school lunch. For the protein in this, of course, pepperoni because pizza, and also I'm gonna do some salami. I love using like the salami and pepperoni because you can eat it room temperature too. Salami, I just love the salty bite this gives. Of course, the pizza sauce is, full of tomatoes. I'm using these little heirloom ones. You can just use all red, whatever. And then I'm using sun-dried tomatoes as part of the dressing. So I'm gonna cut these in half or quarters if they're big ones. The cheese going in this one, mozzarella, obviously. These are the little mini mozzarella balls, so you can just leave them whole or cut them in half. I'm only gonna drain off about half of the marinade because the rest is just gonna add flavor to our salad. On the Supreme Pizza, you usually find olives and bell peppers and onions, so I'm putting all that in there too. This is going to add that really fresh crunch that'll complement those, softer bean textures. I'm gonna use Castelvetrano olives because I just wanted like the green flavor. You ever seen a spoon like this? It's for this, to where the liquid drains out. Who knew? Castelvetranos are gonna be a really mild, kind of like sweet, a little nutty. It's already looking pretty and we haven't even put it in a bowl yet. I'm gonna kind of dice the onion up in this one so that it's kind of sprinkled throughout. All right, look at that, a rainbow of flavor. And now it just all gets mixed together. Oh, smell that. This is going in. Lots of fresh basil. All right, for the dressing, for that really intense kind of tomato flavor to remind us that this is pizza, so pizza sauce, I'm going with sun-dried tomatoes packed in the oil. I'm gonna use the oil too. So I'm gonna put about like half the jar with the oil in a food processor, 2 cloves of garlic, and some white wine vinegar. Good pinch of salt, some pep, a lot, okay, a lot. Adding in crushed red pepper because I like that in my pizza. That might have been a lot. And then oregano, again, so about a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm gonna get this pureeing and I'll drizzle in the olive oil and we'll just do it until it's really good and creamy. I want this a little tangier than I would like in a salad dressing because everything in here is like really rich and creamy. So this is gonna kind of, cut some of that richness. All right, let's see. Think pizza. The beans kind of act as the crust, everything else is the topping. You're gonna love this one. That's delicious. Satisfies the pizza flavor craving in a much little healthier package. Did I save the best for last? This one is a Thai chopped chicken DBS. All the flavors that you love in just a traditional like chopped chicken salad, but with beans added for extra filling. We're gonna start with some green cabbage. I kind of like chop it, dice it up. Yesterday for lunch I had Thai larb, and you get that like peanutty flavored meat and they wrap it in cabbage leaves. So this is gonna be reminiscent of that. This one's probably gonna be our biggest one because there's a lot that goes into here, but again, no cooking required. Cucumber, seedless cucumber, and then dice it up. About half a bunch of cilantro, 1 bunch of green onions. I am gonna add a little confetti of orange with some matchstick carrots. I get the ones that are already chopped up and then chop them just a little bit further. And a little kick with some jalapeno. I'm gonna mostly seed it. This is a really big one. Can you taste it? I feel like you can taste it just by looking at it. Okay, for the beans in this one, edamame. Does that just make sense? For this one, I'm gonna do some white beans, smaller scale. So I went with a navy bean here. That is not a can opener. Edamame has a lot of like slightly like crunchy bite to it. So this will be the creamy to balance the crunchy. I'm consistent, people. The navy beans are gonna be just smaller than the Great Northern beans. And then I'm adding in some chicken. Really just use rotisserie chicken here or any kind of cooked chicken that you want. And then optional, but I think not really optional, some chopped peanuts. This is going to just be that delightful extra crunch. Look at that. Is that not a big bowl of deliciousness? Hopefully by now you've gotten enough Asian condiments in your pantry that you can whip this up. I think staples include rice vinegar, soy sauce, obviously, sometimes chili garlic paste. These are things you should just have on hand. Rice vinegar is going in along with some fresh lime juice. Oh, you know what this means. It just works. Ginger is something you should keep on hand. It is so cheap and it lasts forever in the fridge. Peel it and then give it a little grate. I don't really want big bites of it in the dressing. And a garlic clove. And the little secret ingredient here is just peanut butter. This just gives you that good like roasted nutty flavor. Makes it real savory and kind of, creamy. And some soy sauce. I want like avocado oil. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. Get that going and then I'll drizzle in the oil. Give it a little tasty poo. It's good. It does. It needs a little drizzle of honey. Little sprinkle of salt. And now we dress it. Look at that. I feel like you can taste it from there. So you just go in. With a spoon, you come out with a perfect bite. It's gonna happen every time. This is it. This is perfection. I don't know what to say. Slightly sweet, salty, creamy, crunchy. It's really savory and it's like super satisfying. Every bite is. There you have it. We have embraced the dense bean salad trend and I think we nailed it. This is 3 completely different salads that can double as meals. Regardless of which one you try, they're all the perfect package of perfect bites. You've got to try these out. Next time you're craving a pasta salad, give the dense bean salad a try. And thank me later.
Do the LeBron chalk toss.
This is giving big DBS energy.
No.